Hi guys. Hey friends.
How are
How we
you?
doing?
It's Friday. It's Friday, so yeah, we're doing pretty good. How about you guys?
Good. It's
Yeah,
Friday.
it is. You know what though? I still work a 9 to 5, so Friday actually still has meaning. You guys are rock stars, so your work week kind of starts on Thursday and Friday, realistically.
Mm, we still have part-time jobs.
Yeah.
But
The
yeah,
co-
even then, I'm still working on the weekend, so
Yeah.
Friday's like my Monday.
It's just no winning. Like it's a common misconception, but it's a good thing to tell any young people out there wanting to start a band that even when you are kicking ass, it doesn't rake in that Foo Fighters cash or that fucking it definitely doesn't rake in that Taylor Swift cash. That's for damn sure.
Damn, I wish.
Hey, well, it's great to have you guys back on. Teddy, this is the first time you've been on. Mikaila, welcome back again. Sorry that Nate's not here, so you guys are probably going to have to deal with a whole bunch of my immature jokes.
I'm
So
sure it'll be fine.
I'm apologising first and foremost for that. But hey, speaking of Taylor Swift, I'm going to segue this into the album. And I just want to come out and say, number one, first of all, it's an absolute fucking belter. It is so good and it is so powerful. It's a really driving album. And my whole point with the Taylor Swift thing is you guys have ever so slightly been nudging away from the more pop sensibility stuff for a while. But I feel like on this album, it's, and look, I know it's a cliche to say, but this is a really mature, heavy album.
Thank you. Um,
Thanks.
Thanks. Yeah, we're super proud of it. I mean, I think with every release you always intend for it to be, I guess, mature and to kind of show how you've grown. But I think that this time around it was just like not trying to do anything particular, not trying to be something that we weren't. And maybe that's kind of like what that is. It's just like, like a pure, just yours truly, just these are songs that we liked. Here's the album.
Is there is there any reason other than natural sort of progression and growing up and becoming, I guess, more mature as you get older? Is there any reason other than that? Have you been inspired by certain artists or certain sounds in specific that led to you guys having the confidence to just pursue this a little more?
I think that as we've gotten older, our tastes have changed, and I think that, we listen to music that we probably would have like, I don't know, screwed our nose up at, but like when
Mm,
we're teenagers and be like, what is that?
mm.
So I think that yeah, we're way more open to, to being influenced by other things, but I think this time around we were just like, let's just write the best possible songs we can write and just give it everything. Like I guess we were very you know, we were inspired by the fact that like, you know, that this is a record that almost didn't get made and that, we just had to give it like everything that we had. So yeah, just kind of taking influence from anything really.
Yeah, cool. And is that that sort of fear or that uncertainty one of the main catalysts for you guys just going, well, fuck it, like this album might not get made, might not get released. If this is going to be our last hurrah, let's kind of go out with a bang, or make sure that there's no regrets that we didn't take the chance to try certain things or certain new elements.
Definitely. Yeah, definitely just wanted to give it everything and just to be like, well, that was the best 10 songs we could have written at that period of time. And here they are.
Mhm.
Hopefully people like them, like kind of thing. But we like them. So that's really like, that's the main thing, right?
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Well, it definitely. Look, I mean, you always expect people to say this, but it is, as far as I'm concerned, your best work. It sounds like the most accomplished album you guys have done, and I do really welcome that little bit of extra darkness, and obviously like the last EP lent into this a little bit more, but even like you had people like Drew York on a track, and you didn't utilize him for his hardcore vocals, which I thought was really fucking cool. Yeah, but so this album, you've lent a little bit more into that. Has it given you guys a little bit more of a rejuvenated passion for getting out and doing these tracks live?
Yeah, definitely. I think like the way that it all like sonically fits together is like it's very like guitar driven. As I mean, I guess it's all about kind of music is quite guitar driven, but it's like it's a bit more power behind it, a bit more riffy and heavier. Like it's going to be super super fun to play live, and we've just been practicing for the last like month or so now, and we just can't wait to actually do it in front of people now.
Yeah, it's that thing where you finally get to, because obviously songs take a completely different identity when you get in the studio with a producer and stuff. You finally get in the room and be able to play them together, and you're like, oh, this one's going to slam live. Like, so which songs for you guys are you most looking forward to playing live off the new album? What's the one that you're most pumped to play?
I think the one that's going to be received the best is probably going to be California Sober. I feel like it's like really fun like to play, and like we all tend to kind of like move a little bit more to that one. But I think we're all like I mean, speak for you, Teddy. You can chime in. But I think we're all collectively really excited to do a song called Let Go. It's just a song. Like, it wasn't a single, but it was just a song that we're like, it's in the set list because we just enjoy playing it.
And how hard is it going to be for you guys, like, when you've got a pretty big back catalogue now, you've got a few songs behind you. Have you had to make the decision already about what ones you're going to phase out in favour of these new ones?
Yeah, it's tough decisions, but I think it's good in a way where now that every show that we can play different songs and we can create like more different variations with set lists and making sure like each tour we do, like the show is quite unique compared to the last one, make sure no one's seeing the same thing twice. I think
Yeah, for
like
sure.
although it is a bittersweet part to phase out some songs for a little while, I'm sure they'll come back.
Yeah, for sure. And I guess, like, have you now got that opportunity where you can try basically all of these songs and gauge crowd reaction? Is that going to be the sort of the goal, to gauge what ones go over the best and add those more frequently? Or are you just going to be like, no, we like these ones, fuck you guys, we're playing these?
It's definitely a bit of the both. There's some songs that like are on the set list because we're like, I don't care, like these are the songs we want to play.
Yeah.
But as well as like we really do like set a lot of gauge of like how well songs are perceived. So on the like run that we're going to be doing to the UK and Europe, we'll be playing a bunch of the new stuff, and that'll be a really good test to see how people are reacting, how much people like each song, and I guess like once the album's out, see who's got what songs streaming the best as well, which will also help us gauge for like, okay, we know that people in this city like this song the most, like, we're going to play it for them. We can't let them down.
Yeah, of course. And have you thought much about the fact that now that you guys have got, like a little bit of diversity, a little bit more diversity, sorry, in the like the stylistic and sonic approach to the songs, you guys have that option now where if you're on a poppier bill, you're like, well, we can bring out the more aggressive tracks and we can bring the heaviness. Or if you're on a heavier bill, it's like, well, we can be that real nice pop sensibility, that breath of fresh air between the chaos.
Yeah, definitely. We like the next couple tours we're doing. We're doing a tour in the States with and Shikari and Yumi at Six.
Oh, wow.
We can bring out like hallucinate and like all like the songs that kind of have like electronic like vibe to them, because I'm sure that people that like and Shikari like that. So, just having things like that. But then we're doing Reading and Leeds when we get to the UK, and that whole set is just like all the songs that like people can like move to, or like the fast ones, but nothing too heavy. Nothing too heavy, but just kind of like, well, I mean, we're not that heavy, but like too heavy to the average person, I guess.
Yeah, for sure. That's an interesting lineup in itself anyway, the Enna Shikari and Yumi at 6-1, because it's like they're both from the UK, they both have sort of, I guess, similar moments. but there's not really anyone that sounds like Ena Shikari. So I feel like it's always kind of hard to match a band to tour with them. But it's such a good thing because they're so like captivating and different, and no one's expecting a band on that bill to be like them.
Yeah, no one
Absolutely.
will ever
Yeah.
be like, they're such a unique band that yeah, they're just their own thing, which I guess is cool for them because they can tour with whoever they want.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. The loveliest dudes as well. The sweetest dudes. Okay, so I want to ask some hard questions, all right? I want to know, and it always interests me as, a musician and writer myself, what songs, because obviously some songs come really easily and some can be an absolute nightmare. Were there any tracks on the album that you guys almost didn't persist with, or any that were super easy, but then you didn't enjoy how easy it was in the final product? Which was the biggest struggle on the album to complete?
I would say both California Sober and Sour.
Yeah, they were both an absolute slog to get through, especially on the days that we first started working on them. It was just a hell of a day. We just gotten off the back of like a bunch of touring and just both dead.
Oh, really? Oh, so it was more like a performative thing, not a writing thing?
It was
Yeah.
just we had like nothing left. Like we were just like we were like so tired, and then we were like sitting and we were working with Stevie Knight, who like we worked with him on all of our past records. And he like looked at us, he's like, "What's wrong with you guys?" And we're like, "Brain empty. Like, I'm sorry.
Hmm.
Like, we just came off 5 months of touring and like I've had like maybe 2 nights at home and now I'm here and I got nothing. But I have a deadline. I need to finish this out. I need to finish writing this album by this date. So like I really don't have time to stop." And I think that it gave us, yeah, I think we just freaked ourselves out because we were like, why is it so hard to write? Like why do we have
Mm.
nothing in our brains? Like why are we not agreeing on anything? And then I think then like us freaking out about it and also the pressure that we had on ourselves to
Mm.
write said album, just being Teddie and I, like, like we just had like so much pressure on ourselves. We were like, oh my God, like we're shit. Like like this is like
Mm.
we've lost all of our creative like skill. And so yeah, and so we walked away like kind of feeling like frustrated, but then we ended up writing Sour about that feeling. So I
Oh,
guess
wow.
after we wrote Sour, we were like, oh, okay, cool. Like, and then it kind of like started
Mm.
getting better from there. But that was like the beginning. That was towards, yeah, the beginning of working on this album. We would
Oh, that's great. That you want to start positive like that, don't you?
very positive, very
That was great.
It's like, oh, this is going to be great.
Yeah.
um, Interesting as well because Sour ended up becoming a single.
Yeah. So, I
It's
guess
crazy that.
we consisted through and that, we ended up with the song After All. But I guess like the easy songs, I think probably the easiest song to write was probably Love Feels Like, which was one of the last songs written for the record, and same as Sinking, which is also one of the last songs written for the album. So I think by the time we got to like the end of the record, it just became like we knew what we were doing at that point, like we knew what we
Mm.
wanted, like we knew
Yeah, okay.
where we stood. And so those songs just came very quickly and they felt good. So it just kind of like let it happen.
It's kind of like once you're warmed up a little bit, you just it rolls on and it becomes a little bit more fluent. And you would assume that that would be when you start running out of ideas, and you get more critical on yourselves. So obviously you guys did the album together. Uh, was there a lot of moments where you guys had that push and pull where one of you was struggling and needed the other one to pull you through, or do you guys is that generally how it goes, or is it when you're both rolling, the wheels are going and there's no stopping?
I think Teddy and I have a lot of trust in each other. I think that if someone is like down and somebody can't contribute at some point, then the other person has always been able to hold, I guess, hold
Mm.
everything up until the other person is ready. There were times during this whole the creating of like this whole album where like Teddy took some time out and there were times where I took some time out. Um and yeah, and I guess the album still got done and we're still here. So like I think that
Yeah.
yeah, like we got through it, and so I think that's like the main thing of just like we've just, yeah, I think we just both have it as our priority. So you just make it
Yeah.
work.
So how much downtime have you had since the album's been finished? Have you had any time to just sort of get back and chill and just live a little bit of life without music?
A little bit. Um,
Yeah, I mean, there was a period of like a couple weeks before we started getting all the preparations for this tour coming up where had a little bit of time off to like just go back to normality for a couple weeks or so. It was nice, but then like we were just like, nah, we
You
want to
get
start
the
working on
itch?
stuff again. And yeah, I get the itch straight away. Yeah.
Yeah. And is that the same as when you come back from a tour? It's like when you're on the road and things are difficult, you're like, oh, I just want my own bed. But then after a few nights, you're like, I'm sick of my own bed.
Yeah. No, I think for me the hardest part of the tour is leaving it because I'm just like, oh no, like because then I know I'm gonna come home and then I'm gonna be sad and I'm gonna want to go again, so I might as well just stay.
And you're going to have to work weekends.
Yeah.
All right. So another difficult question, and then I promise it'll get a little bit easier. Gun to your head, if you had to pick one of your children to get rid of, as in songs on this album, not real children, which one would you cut from the album if you absolutely had to? And why? And you don't have to worry about being diplomatic if one was more the other one's song.
Um, I'd cut Bloodshot Eyes because it's got like a tempo change that's like 2 BPM in the chorus compared to the verse, and that pisses me off. So like it works really well in this context of the song, but just
Yeah.
like the fact that that's even a thing and the fact that it works, I don't agree with it and I don't like that, but it works and it's great.
Michaela?
um, I'm gonna say that considering that we put out Call My Name ages ago, not ages ago, but before the album was announced, technically we could have put another song on the album and just had Call My Name as a single.
Mm.
That's actually a pretty good reason. Yeah. I like that. Well done.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
You've got rid of your oldest child. It's like, yeah, they're 18. Move out of the home. Off you
Yeah.
go. Get a real job.
Yeah.
So, what do you guys got coming up that you're really pumped for? What's the biggest thing? Like, obviously, dropping the album. Is there
Mm.
is there much sort of anticipation and nervousness behind that, or?
Um, yes, like I'm excited. I'm nervous at the same time. I just hope that people, I don't know, give a shit, first of all. That'd be nice. If if they do, I hope they like it.
They're gonna
And
like it. Like, I'm not blowing smoke, but it's really good, guys. Like, you smashed it. So
Thank you.
if someone doesn't like it and they're into that music in general, I would say they're more the issue.
Yeah,
So
it sounds
I
like a
wouldn't,
them problem then.
yeah, I wouldn't worry too much about it. Yeah. But yeah, so
Mad.
what have you got coming up that you're really pumped for? Obviously, you said the Shikari and You Me at 6 tour, which is going to be
Hmm.
fucking massive.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm excited. I think Reading and Leeds is like the one that like I'm like really stoked on. That like it's been a bucket list thing for us for so long, but like and it's also a festival that you don't really think that as like a alternative like pop punk band that you get to play. Like it
Mm.
just really like feel like in alignment with what they usually book. So that's yeah something that I'm really excited for.
Yeah, that's wild. That's going to be a hell of a party.
Hmm.
And have you got anything planned to really put the Australian mark on those festivals, or anything special to really put your mark on there and say to people, hey, don't forget us. Go and listen to our shit.
Teddy wanted us to wear jerseys.
Yeah, we're thinking about wearing Tilly's jerseys. I reckon
Oh,
that'd be such a sick thing. Because I don't know, you always see like English bands wearing their football jerseys, especially at like big festivals like that. So I was like, let's match that energy.
You can wear
that is, yeah, that's a pretty good one. Although they did kind of, I don't mean to sound like a jerk, but they did kind of underperform at the Olympics. Like, let's be honest.
Let's not worry about that.
No, no. I agree with that. I like that as like a football fan myself. I like when I see bands wearing football jerseys, I would love Sam from Architects doing it, except he supports Manchester United and I don't agree with that. So but it's always a cool thing. So I say go for it, but I reckon, and you're welcome in advance, go one step further. I want the full kit. I want full kit, headbands,
Full
I
kit.
want socks and shin pads, yep, and just
Full
bring a
studs,
whole...
boots, and everything.
Yeah, I mean, look,
Right.
yeah, I'll take all the credit if none of you slip over and break an ankle. Otherwise, yeah, it wasn't my idea. But then I reckon just boot soccer balls into the crowd. Just go
Yeah.
ham with it.
That'd be mad.
Love
Trust your luck though. You'll be the unlucky band that like kicks a football out and it gets someone square in the nose, and Australian band attacks crowd with soccer balls.
Oh no.
All press is good press. That'd be so bad.
But why do I
Oh,
have
man.
this feeling that like Henry would rock up like in like a manly like jersey and be like, I thought we were wearing jerseys, and then we're both like,
Yeah,
what?
brother. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, any costume's a good costume though. I mean, hey, Slipknot made a career out of it. That's all I'm saying. All right, so I want to ask you guys something, right? And it's something that I've been asking bands lately. If you were to create your own supergroup, what members would you put in the band? You can have as many members in there as you want. You can choose a producer as well. You can have DJ, keyboardist, guitarist, whatever. Who would be the ideal supergroup for you guys?
Thought about this a lot, actually. This is like
Yeah.
this is, I have thought about this quite a bit, and it's changed a lot over the years. So I'm trying to think like what it would be now. But I reckon it'd be so cool to have just like a massive song with like involving us, Red Hook, Stat, Biam, and Teenage Jones. Like just like somehow work a way that we're all on one song together would be the most fun.
It would also be the most Australian thing ever.
Yeah.
All right. Mikaila, who would be in your supergroup?
Okay, I'm thinking I'm a manager and
Yeah, you're going to manage? You're not going to
Yeah.
sing? All right,
No,
that's cool.
I'm just thinking about like if I was the manager of a band, I want to put a band together. Who would I put in the band?
Exactly right.
Fuck, I don't know. Is it Australian edition or is this like international?
You can do whatever you can have a mix if you want. Like, let's bring the world together.
I would say Hayley Williams has to be the singer because she is just the best vocalist of all time. And then I would say, look, since Sam did our album and I think that he's a legend, he can play drums. Sam Bassar can play drums.
Okay.
Who do we think? Who you add to it, Teddie? If you can put a guitarist, you're a guitarist.
Damn, we could do well with those two.
Oh no, see that you don't want to do that. You want to mix it up.
You want to
Yeah.
mix it up?
Yeah. You just go for it, man.
I reckon for like a super group, I don't know now.
This is what turned out to be harder than the questions about the album.
Really hard.
No.
Really hard, but all of a sudden,
I'm blanking on everyone's name.
everyone that
That's the
I've,
thing.
yeah, I've ever met. Like I've probably met a million guitarists, and I'm going, who plays guitar?
No, put Josh from Malevolence in there.
Good call. Good call.
Yeah, love Malev.
Yeah. That's a solid call.
Heck yeah.
Who's a good bassist?
I mean, like, you guys could do the popular thing now and just have no bass player.
Yeah.
No, we already do that.
Laptop.
Backing tracks, yeah. Laptop, yeah.
Laptop.
And AI bass player.
If that's the case, then I'm changing my super group to just all laptop.
All laptop. Wow. Interesting. That'd be good.
Every member is laptop AI.
How do you guys feel about AI? In terms of, I asked Landon this question the other week from Plot, and he was quite honest and open about like both the positives and the negatives, like what he's hopeful for and what he's fearful for. Have you guys thought much about that and the state that AI can have on music moving forward? Because I don't know if you guys have seen, but there's AI things where you can just literally, well, I'm sure you know, say a few words and then say what style of music and it'll create it. Just like, I want to write a power metal song about squirrels.
Yeah.
And it'll come up with something. It's wild.
I don't think.
Yeah, you go.
No, you go.
Yeah, I'm very much in like a two mindset about it as well, but there's a lot of things that like excite me about it, and there's lots of things that I like think that we need to make sure that we put like certain measures in to prevent like negative things from happening. Like with like people just being able to kind of like throw out stuff and like claim ownership to the rights of what's created through AI and like whether that's actually you creating it or not. But I'm also really excited for the fact that it can open up so much more for creativity and being able to use it as a tool to like get that link when you kind of at a loss for I know what I want in my brain, but I don't know how to contextualize that and being able to have like use a tool like that, like AI as a virtual assistant to be able to get what's in your brain actually into what you're trying to make.
Yeah, kind of sort of just assist with writer's block and things like that. And what can I
Yeah,
do here that's still going to sound like me, but break me out of a thought pattern where I'm essentially trying to steer away from something, but kind of ending up in the same spot. Because I think when you get
exactly.
comfortable as a writer, even a vocalist or whatever, you get so comfortable. You spend so long honing your craft and getting good at it and putting hours into it that when you finally get there and there's that level of comfort, it's it's kind of harder to get to that next level. Like it's kind of harder to break through that glass ceiling because it's like you spent so long getting to this point. How do you get in the mindset to get away from that and still sound authentic, still sound like you?
Absolutely. Yeah.
But like as Landon said, it's a good tool to do that sort of stuff. And if he's as a producer trying to think of ideas to give to someone, he used a good example. Like he doesn't have a female voice, so if he's trying to give an idea to someone about how a piece could work in, it's like, well, I can sing it and then put a female voice on it.
Exactly. Like there's so many like useful applications like that that'll come through as well as like even in like bringing more of a perfected sound to like simulated amps and drum stuff like that. It's like there's so much that can be done, and even just like looking at it from like a producer or a mixing point of view as well, there's so much potential for good to be done.
For sure. And if all else fails, you can have a song where it sounds like Stewie Griffin from Family Guy singing, and I think that's really cool too.
I mean, it's technology. It's mad.
That's the
Yeah.
best AI, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think
I don't know how to like do any of that yet, but I would love for someone to do like a version of a Yours Truly song with some stupid voice over the top. I think that would be hilarious.
someone did
So,
it with High Hopes.
No way.
oh,
Yeah.
really?
They put the from South Park. Who's the oh shit, I don't even know what the character's name is. Um
Cartman? I'm not going to attempt to do his voice if
yeah.
that's, like,
It's
which one is
one
that?
of those voices. Like it's
Yeah,
like if someone did one of like High Hopes. I thought it was hilarious.
yeah, that's awesome.
But
That's good.
I don't think that like I get that people are doing things now to like write the whole songs. I heard one on Twitter the other day and it was like this AI like metalcore song and I was like, okay, that's first of all, that's weird. Sounds you can hear that like it sounds very like current of like what everyone's releasing at the moment. But at the same time, I don't think that they're ever gonna have the same heart that like something that's just like authentically written. Like you hear the
Yeah.
lyrics, you just go like, what? Like I'm sure it will get better in time, But I don't think that, like, I think that the beautiful thing about alternative music is the fact that people write about like their own life experience and their own pain. And I think that the reason why people are so like invested in this music and this style of music is because these stories are so well told in a way that like
Yeah.
relatable. Like, I don't think AI is ever going to be able to do that.
Yeah, 100%. That's like that is literally almost word for word where I sit on it.
Yeah.
Because especially with this style of music, like or any guitar driven, like aggressive sort of music, there's there's a certain like visceral realness to it that you just can't get from any other sort of style of music as far as I'm concerned. And it's like it's that sound we all remember when we first heard that band, that changed everything for us. You know what I mean? It's just
Right.
like, whoa, like that's raw as fuck. Like I've never
Yeah.
heard such like pain or like, and unfortunately, it's usually a negative feeling like pain or anger or, loss or something expressed through music like that. But I think that's what makes this sort of music so special as well is we've got that avenue to be vulnerable. And I don't think a computer will ever feel vulnerable.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think you'll ever be able to recreate like the emotions behind like a human being's actions, and that like will translate into whatever's ways presented, whether it's like the recording or how things are played live. Like I always think like if you're gonna release all these songs that are just written by AI, what are you gonna do? Are you just gonna put them out on the internet for people to listen to and never actually play them to people? Not like
Yeah,
actually genuinely share it with people face to face in the world. So it's like as long as there's people who still want to do a face to face real kind of like form of music, I don't think that AI will ever really take over because it's a something that humans have always needed, and it's been a part of
yeah,
our culture like since the dawn of time is performing music and playing music in front of people and with people and enjoying that part of community together.
yeah, that
But
togetherness
like,
and stuff.
yeah, so I don't think that like that's something that I don't think AI can really take away. And it's
Yeah,
just something that we need to make sure that we are protecting and not letting our chances to be able to do those things get like have things come into our way were to make it harder to do those kind of things and be able to have these moments with people.
yeah, and I think like you when you mentioned about there's going to be well, like what are you going to do if you're a band that creates everything on a computer? What are you going to do live? I don't know if you guys remember like years back in the birth of the scene, like the metalcore scene, when there was a whole swarm of those like heavy verse, clean vocal, like really sort of high pitched vocal bands that came out. And it was when like Autotune and Melodyne started getting really big. And these bands, like you'd hear them on album and you'd be like, God damn, like that dude's voice, like it can get super high. And then you hear them live and you're like, oh no, that was all done on Pro Tools.
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, there's some
if you
pretty
guys ever need
shockers
any
on the
backup
internet.
vocals, I'm free. Like I'm
Yeah,
good. Yeah.
consider yourself hired. We'll get our team in touch with you.
Yeah, no AI needed here.
No, but I think like also then it's with having going through that period of time, it kind of like let the people who had that kind of like natural talent and ability to do those things and didn't need as much processing. And I don't think doing those things really like was going to take away from the music because again, it's just a tool that you're using to enhance what's already there rather
yeah,
than pulling stuff out of thin air that's not already made by someone.
yeah,
Everyone,
for sure.
every song anyone hears has been edited. Like no
Yeah.
one's singing into a microphone and just posting it online. Like it's just how far you want to take it. Like
Like
Yeah,
even the Beatles had some sort of like tuning element involved in it. Like it's been going on for like since you've been able to record music, you've always been able to edit pitch.
I
And
don't have
it's
a
like
problem with
it's
that. Like
no.
at all. I don't have a problem with people, trying to perfect their art and trying to make it the way that they want to make it.
Mm,
The only thing about AI that like, I question is just, it's just being like literally writing a whole like song and like you not having to do anything. Like
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
that to me is just like wow, like is that what people are gonna start doing that? Is someone gonna wake up and be like, you know what? I feel like being an artist.
Yeah, I'm going to write a song today. Boop,
Yeah, like did you
done.
write the song or
Yeah.
did you download it? Like what which one is it? And I think that I just hope that we don't lose like I just hope that we don't lose
Mm,
art. Like I don't want to lose art.
Yeah, yeah.
absolutely.
As long as we use it for the progression of art and the expansion of art and opening our minds, then I think it's a cool thing. But technology, it does what it does, and we're all going to get overtaken by the robots one day anyway. So
It's a
Nah,
thing.
we're gonna resist the fight against the robots.
Michaela's like, nah, dude, you go for it. I'm going to
I've
stay
played
home.
Detroit 3 times. It never ends well. No matter what decisions you make, the robots still win.
Do you game at all?
Yeah, that's my favorite one of all time.
Yeah,
But I like all like those like adventure, like story, um, like decision-based games.
like open world sort of stuff, or
Yeah, like most of them are open world. Like the one most recent one that I played that was open world was the Life is Strange True Colors one. Um, but yeah, stuff like that, and then just like real chill, like, you know, cozy games like The Sims and like all that stuff. Like I've been like when
yeah.
I say like when you say you play The Sims, people are like, oh, cute. And I'm like, yeah, like literally I've spent thousands of dollars on that game.
Yeah, I feel like The Sims, like those sorts of games, is something that you can just plod along with, and there's no real objective except to just keep doing shit. It's
Yeah.
like I made a new table in my living room today, and that was great. That's a day well spent.
My housemate plays RuneScape and he's like, oh, I just like leveled up in this thing and I just go, sounds like The Sims. And no,
Hasn't
it's
that
not.
game been around for like, I don't know that game that well, but hasn't that been around for like forever?
Yeah, very
Yeah.
long.
Wow.
Yeah.
I also found out that there's still people that play World of Warcraft.
Yeah,
I,
absolutely.
it's you, isn't it?
No. I'm
They,
not very good at games.
not a gamer.
No, I play Fortnite and skate games, but that's it.
Yeah, I'm Fortnite until like I end up like just losing my mind when you get a few rounds when you land and you just killed instantly, and I'm just like, what the fuck, man? Like, why do I bother? Because you got to wait 3 minutes to start another game.
Yeah, no, that's the worst.
I'm too angry to be dominated by 12-year-olds. Yeah,
No,
like it's not a good use of my time.
yeah. No, I played Doom when I was younger, but that's like the only other game that I played, and I think I got all of my anger and frustration in gaming out on both like Doom and Doom Eternal. It drove me to the point of insanity, but I finished it and I loved it.
I think most younger people, like kids, teens, preteens, go through that stage where they just get completely like obsessed with the game and just cannot go a day without playing it. What is a segue then? Do you guys take any gaming on tour with you, or what are your other ways of keeping each other entertained?
I take my Switch usually. That's a good one to tour with. It's very easy.
Have you got like you've got the two controllers as well that you can split so you can both play Mario Kart and shit like that?
I'm selfish. I don't let anyone play with me. We
At least you're honest.
yeah, no, I don't know. It also it dies and then you have to wait so long for it to charge and it's just like fuck it. Um I we don't really like I think we just look forward to going and eating at places
Mm.
like when we're like away on tour and stuff like that and like going out places and we have like
Mhm.
movie nights and stuff like that on tour. We sit on
Yeah.
and Henry's
We
always
love going to arcades as well. There was like that sick one that we stopped at in America.
Oh yeah. It's still a bonding time, which is nice. It's
Absolutely.
not all Michaela saying, leave me the fuck alone, I want to play whatever game it is you play by yourself.
Nah, that's usually me. I'm really just like, bye guys, I'm going skating. See you later in life. Never.
my favorite thing is waking up in the morning and looking out the window of like wherever like if whatever we're traveling in and seeing Henry with like a resistance band wrapped around a street pole with his shirt off and his cowboy hat on, working out on the side of the street.
Sounds like Nathan's type of guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's your go-to thing though when you pull up in a new place? You said you guys like going and eating, and you like going to arcades and stuff like that. What if you're going to pull up and go find food? What's your go-to? What's the first sort of food you're hunting for?
First stop is coffee, always.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I
that's
hear
always
around the
up
world
first.
I hear around the world though that's quite disappointing
Yes.
But that's
because
part of the game though. That's the fun part. You got to find the good coffee in the morning. You got to like we wake up in the morning, we're all on Google Maps doing our research, trying to find them somewhere. Someone will like, or if someone's up early, they'll be like, "Yeah, I went this place. It was shit. Don't go there." Um,
yeah, okay.
or
So at
like,
least you're
or
reading
vice
reviews and
versa.
you're not like you're
Yeah.
reading reviews and find out because I don't know if you know how the human body works, but going to like 6 different coffee places and having a coffee all before like 10 or 11 a.m. not a good idea.
Nah, I don't want to do that.
Not going to end well.
I always look up Australian cafes. Like if we're somewhere in America and there's an Australian cafe, like I will go there to get a coffee.
Do you know how many American people are going to be triggered by what you've just said?
So many.
Why don't you get the
Not
fuck
enough.
out of our country then?
Well, I don't know. Just like something about just like I don't know. I can't do black coffee. Like I just like it needs to have like some milk and like it needs to be a bit frothy and like the perfect
Not creamer.
amounts. Not creamer, milk. You know?
Yeah.
I've never had a coffee with cream. So when they say cream, I thought that they just were saying that instead of milk. Is it
No,
actually cream?
it's disgusting. It's like I wouldn't even call it cream. It's disgusting.
Not. It's vegan. Most of them are vegan, so it's not even actually cream.
Yeah, I'm
Did
pretty
you
sure
know
it's like
that?
90% like oil.
Yeah, it's like
Oh,
coffee like milky, and I don't know what is in it to make it like yeah, because some of them are vegan.
Yeah, no, it's crazy.
wow.
It's yuck.
You guys are killing my American dreams here.
Sorry.
I already knew that they.
Waffles are the best part though. Don't worry
Well,
about
they're
the coffee. Just get waffles.
Yeah, I've heard that the food kicks ass. I've never been to America, but I've heard the food kicks ass. Like if you want to go to like, if you're a meat eater and you want to go to one of those barbecue meat places, that you will almost give yourself a heart attack every time, and that's a good thing.
Yeah, I mean, like everything does taste better when it's cooked in bacon grease.
Mikaila does not share your sentiments.
But to be fair, I like the Mexican food over there is unreal. I've had like some of the best. Like
Mm.
I think it was in Oklahoma. I went to this random, Mexican restaurant and I was like, oh, this will be fine. And it was just I still think about it. And that was years ago. So I'm excited to go over and eat again.
What's the best? Can you remember a specific meal that you've had somewhere that you didn't expect much of, and you were just like, mind blowing, this has changed my life. I'm going to move here and live next door.
Maybe not the move here and live next door part, but like I remember the first time we ever went to America when we were in somewhere in California. We stopped at this like little Mexican restaurant because we're like, oh, let's get some Mexican food. We'll try somewhere. Found this place that was just like
I know
this
exactly what
tiny,
you're
cute
talking
little,
about.
yeah, this cute, tiny little place, and we are like expecting like not much at all. But holy shit, that was some of the best food I've ever had. And I'm not sure if I was like, I can't even remember if we were like starving or anything, but like it was just that good that we are just like, we're expecting some like mid-tier, like cheap Mexican food. But holy crap, this blew our minds out of the water. Like, I mean, we just got them to like order a bunch of stuff for us because it was like most of the menu was in Spanish, and we're just like, this is what we like. You pick for us, and did not disappoint.
It was
Yeah.
so
That's why you want to join a band, and that's why you want to tour, to
yeah.
find
100%.
great food. All right, guys. Well, I reckon I've taken up enough of your Friday night. Thanks for hanging out. Like I said, the album is an absolute belter. I think people are going to love it. You guys have smashed it. You've done really well. It's very enjoyable. I'm not sure if you can announce anything or whatever, but hopefully there is going to be some Australian dates in the near future that we can catch up and see you
Definitely
guys perform these songs.
planning stuff.
Yeah. It's in the works.
Very good. Very good.
Yeah.
Happy to hear it. All right, guys. Thanks again for your time, and catch you real soon.
Thank you.
Thanks so
Peace,
much,
guys.
mate.
Good luck with everything.
Thank you so
Bye.
much.
Wait, is it gonna do the thing?